What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and today we've got what you've all been asking for. Today we have the brand new Glock 17 V. This is Glock's brand new pistol, and in classic Glock fashion, instead of innovation, we have something else entirely. This is definitely the most talked about pistol of the year because Glock is the most popular handgun in the industry, and when they decide to discontinue literally all of their models and come out with new pistols, it raises some questions. So today we hope to answer at least some of those. First question is it a good pistol? So we'll answer that. Is it a better pistol than the previous variations? We will answer that question as well. We're going to take this out and we're going to shoot this a couple hundred rounds. We'll shoot the Glock 17, we'll shoot the Glock 19. We'll show you the differences between the V and the Gen 5s, and we'll talk about a potential Gen 6 coming here in the future. Before we do that though, I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. It's because you have these guns. I actually went over to Battlehawk and bought both of these last night with the Patreon dollars. So I appreciate you, and you guys have been the biggest supporter of the channel, and you continue to be. If you want to help us out, all you have to do is go to the link in the description and sign up. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS. Those kids could use your help, so please get on there and donate to those kids. And then finally, I do want to thank the sponsor of this video, the Sonoran Desert Institute.
The Sonoran Desert Institute is an online accredited college where you can get an associate's degree or certificate in a gun-related field. Whether your dream is to be your own boss and own your own business, or you're interested in working for an amazing gun company, the Sonoran Desert Institute is a great place to start. Make sure you go down to the link in the description below so that you can learn how you can jumpstart your career in the firearms industry. Okay, Sugar Plum.
All right, some of the differences are obvious and some of them are not. So first difference, you pay for an upgrade and you lose your optics mount. So there's no optics mount on this gun, but you can get it direct milled by a company like Jagerworks or something, so I guess that's sort of a plus. The real magic that came in this gun is actually in the trigger system. So basically what they did was make the gun unable to take a Glock switch, and the reason for that is because a bunch of, well, criminals are doing that in California, and California decided that criminals are more important than law-abiding gun owners, so they tried to sue Glock. And now Glock changed their design, so now we lose our optic system and gain the 17V. Like an old friend. All right, now if you notice right here on the back plate, there's a notch right here in the frame that doesn't allow you to actually stick the switch in. And then, my hands are cold, let's see if I can do this. Now, as you can see here, they actually changed some of the trigger geometry as well as some of the other internals in the actual gun itself. So even if they didn't have this little spot on the frame here, you couldn't put in the switch still. I'm sure you could figure out a pretty easy way to fix that if you're a real DIY kind of person. Now, technically, this is generation 5.5, and there's a lot of speculation on this gun on why they came out with a new design that really only changed the trigger mechanism and literally nothing else people have been asking for. And I think the answer to that is you're probably closer to a Gen 6 than you think you are. And I think the answer to the MOS system not being on there is the fact that I think these are probably just old slides they wanted to repurpose and save some money. That being said, I mean, I know Glock hasn't changed much, but in all fairness, they haven't had to change much because they're so popular, they don't want to lose the market they currently have. And I mean, I've been shooting these guns now ever since I went to school for criminal science, and they literally shoot the same as they always have. You can complain about the standard sights, you can complain about the grip angle, the trigger sucks and all that, but at the end of the day, they still work.
Oh man.
You're super right.
Which one are you shooting at?
Left side.
Further.
All the way over.
Okay, yep.
So I'm shooting right now?
That's what it appeared to me.
I saw one hit low right, but I don't know if they all did.
There you go.
Nice. Nice recovery.
Nice to have somebody to tell you where you're f***ing up. So with like trigger control and stuff, so I'm dipping it right because of like where I'm pulling it and stuff?
It could be your grip. The grip's really smooth. It's cold outside.
Okay.
Your right hand, your support hand might be a little weak because it doesn't have enough friction. And you might be, sometimes when that happens, you over squeeze. Imagine this is your hand on your fire grip. Like if you don't have a strong enough grip with your right hand, sometimes you over squeeze, you can dip the gun low and right.
Okay.
Because you're left-handed. And the other thing is if your trigger control is not all the way straight to the rear, you can turn it again with your trigger finger. So it's either your grip or your trigger finger.
With your finger, where do you put the trigger?
On Glocks, I put my like on the crook of my finger because my fingers are so long.
Yeah.
But if your finger's a little shorter, it's kind of ideal to have it on the pad. Some people do the tip, some people do the pad, some people do the crook, some people go all the way in. So it just depends on what is comfortable because your finger works on a fulcrum and so does the gun. So you have to find out what works the best. So right at the end there, you're kind of going straight to the rear and not like kicking it off.
Okay. This thing's weird.
That was low. Straight. There it is.
You're getting better.
You are getting better, yeah.
I gotta be honest though, like this definitely highlights what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. So if you go from like a high-end 2011 with a compensator and a 2-pound trigger and a red dot to a stock Glock with iron sights, it really wakes you up to like, oh shit, I have to do things with this gun. I really have to have good trigger control. I have to have a good sight picture. Like with a dot, you just hover the dot over the target. With iron sights, you have to have the whole sight picture. You have to equal height, equal light, and then you also have to keep your eye focused on the front sight while superimposing the rear, which is changing focal planes that you don't have to do with your red dot. So it's a lot of extra work that your body has to do and recognize. That's why sometimes it's hard to go back and forth because you actually use different like techniques to run both guns.
I guess because I'm compact, I'll shoot the 19.
And because we had 3 loaded mags.
Yep. Oh, that's so stiff. Oh Lord. Definitely does require a little bit more work than
requires a little more input. A little more input with your hand and a little bit more on your trigger finger.
Hey, at least the slide release works.
Concerning to would-be robbers
better.
that your group seem to be suspiciously at the groin.
It works.
So different to go back to irons. Like that used to be like all I would ever try to use because like in video games that's what I would use. You know, there's like a delay in video games.
Sure.
For a dot versus iron. So, but man, now that I'm so used to them, it's so hard to.
Well, the Glock irons are a little odd to begin with because instead of like a 3-dot design, the dot in the box has always been a little odd for some people who aren't used to it. It takes a second, but I mean, like for what they're designed for, again, what I don't like about the Glock sights is that they're fucking plastic. Because to be completely honest with you, I don't know if you're picking up on this, but since we've been shooting this...
Yeah, no, it is definitely moved.
The rear sight has moved all the way over to the side. And that, again, is Glock perfection. Which is why I was shooting straight, and I was looking at Bubba's groups, and all of a sudden his were on the end of the target. So that literally must have just happened. Oh, too far.
All the shit shows happen when it's cold.
Yeah.
You're on.
That's okay for me though.
I know.
Well, that's why we shoot guns like this, You know, you see a lot of gun videos and usually they're like narrative overlays, you know, which is easier to do. You go out and shoot and you film it and then you talk about it. But like out here when it's live, it's nice to see shit go wrong.
Unscripted reality.
Yeah, because like whatever experience that another, like if another person bought that, this is the experience they would have. And that's why we do videos like this in this format, because I just want to take it out and show what the regular person would have. Still shooting pretty good for your rear iron sight.
Man,
being almost off the gun now.
Again.
Yeah, let's see. Now it's on the other side. That's how loose it is. Just riding around in there.
I forgot halfway through that the sights are a little off, so.
Well, that's okay. I mean, you're still hitting. All right. Well, that went pretty much as expected, aside from the rear sight, of course, which has never actually happened to me on a Glock before, to be honest with you. I have heard of it happening because of the polymer sights as opposed to steel. You've always made the argument they're less durable, but I've never actually had one out of the factory that just moved on me. That's a new one. I've been shooting these ever since I went to school back in the day for criminal science, and man, it feels like a Glock. I mean, the Glock 17V, at the end of the day, is this something that you need to get? I don't think so. I think you already have a Glock. You'd see no distinguishable difference whatsoever, other than the fact that if you decided to buy an illegal product, you couldn't put it on your gun. I don't really see any advantages or disadvantages to the consumer for the 17V. Is the new trigger mechanism different in any way to the end user, aside from the switch? Not really. I mean, the trigger pull felt the same, trigger reset felt the same. It all felt exactly the same, other than the fact that now I don't have an MOS system. Other than that, that's the only distinguishable change on the gun that I noticed on the Glock 17. On the Glock 19, essentially the exact same. There's no distinguishable difference between this and a standard Glock 19, other than the fact that now you kind of go back in time and you have the standard issue iron sights again. I mean, what would you use this for? I mean, you could use this for literally anything. You could use it for home defense, you could use it for concealed carry. Many people have won matches with these, national titles. Ben Stoker famously shoots these extremely well. Shane Cooley from Team Glock can outshoot me with these if I have a custom 2011. No, they shoot well. Do they shoot better than M&P? No. They shoot better than a CZ? No, not really. Echelon or even a Canic, all are gonna have better features. They're gonna have better sights, better triggers. They're gonna have optics mounts out of the box. This day and age, for a $650 pistol like this, I wouldn't say it's one of the worst pistols you could buy for the money, but it certainly is not going to be up to snuff like an M&P 2.0, or maybe especially like a Canic Elite series. Something like that is going to have half the trigger weight, better sights, better optics mounting system. The grip's going to be more comfortable. You get a VP9, you can customize the grip. You get a PDP, it's going to be accurate up to 200 plus yards. The Glock's an okay pistol. It's just this one in particular, especially without the optics mounting system, seems like I'm shooting something from a time gone by. I feel like I'm communing with my ancestors when I shoot this gun. It's a nice day to reminisce, to shoot what I would have shot a decade ago. Now, as far as the reliability and the function of the gun, I was a little bit disappointed with this one, actually, as I actually have been several times with the most recent Glocks. Glock has a reputation for extreme reliability, which they more than deserve and earned over at least the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and early 2010s. That being said, I've actually had several Glock models that have had malfunctions, especially new ones, over the past 5 years or so, and this one was no different. Got a malfunction. We actually had several malfunctions with this, with lower powered ammunition I usually shoot competition with, and I'm not saying that it should have functioned that, but lots of other pistols do. Overall, they seem to have decreased the features and decreased the reliability. So I did this because you guys wanted me to do this. So I hope you're happy. But Glock's a Glock, man. Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5, they change minor things, and the operating system essentially stays the same, at least to the end user anyway. And in this case, it's exactly the same. This is a holdover for them to make a little extra money, probably use a little extra parts they had in storage, and make some cash before the Gen 6 comes out. That'll probably have some more minute changes. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please stop by Oklahoma shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.